Guys, to another episode of This Could Be Something Interesting. And today we are joined by Rich, who is the founder of Enrichd Superfoods. Welcome, Rich.
Welcome. Thanks, Tom. Begin with superfoods from the name, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I bought the domain enriched.com, which someone so cleverly sat on for a little while. Yeah, because it was enrichedsuperfoods.com. Yeah, like the obviously superfoods are incredible, but I just thought I'd just shorten it a little bit.
Interesting. I'd love to start this conversation, Rich, with just so for anyone listening and wondering what the hell is Enrichd, you guys sell kind of mushrooms or specifically like mushrooms and tea infused with mushrooms, right? So I'd love to know a bit about like why. What's the obsession with tea and what's the obsession with mushrooms? Like, where did that all start from for you? Where did this whole journey start?
Yeah. So let's see where this little path of inquiry leads us. Like, we can go back to being an obese 12-year-old, being really insecure and like lost, not knowing what to do about my being overweight and being so insecure in myself that I would carry my backpack around school to cover my body up as much as possible. And at that point I was like, I got a big realization where I was like, okay, I have to figure this out for myself. Like, I have to figure out how to become, like, at that time it was, I want a six pack, I want to be fit. And then tied in with it was, I want to have a girlfriend, I want to kiss a girl. And then like between then and this moment, there's like this whole journey of like getting really fit, but kind of malnourished because I was starving myself pretty much, just doing cardio all the time. I had a tumor in my left shoulder, this malignant tumor that I had removed in my early 20s. My dad passed of a really nasty cancer. And in the midst of that, I kind of got another message of like, like this is quite a thing to figure out. Like my dad, the figure, the man that I looked up to and was the answer to so many things, especially, you know, in my younger years as a kid. He I don't know which words to use, but he hadn't figured it out, or existence got him, so to speak. So it kind of like invoked this like kind of like pain, take control and learn a lot. And so that's what I did. I learned a lot about fitness. I played with different diets, weightlifting, Thai boxing. All of it was mixed in with a lot of travel. And through all of that, I found myself living in Los Angeles, introduced to this tea community, doctors of Chinese medicine, some really beautiful people. And this is like 2013, we're going to cancer conferences, mushroom conferences. And I'm looking at these health benefits and these like thousands of years use and these loads of like Western studies on like the anti-cancer properties, the immune support properties of these mushrooms. And it just kind of lit me up inside. I was like, oh yeah, there's something really special about this, about mushrooms, the medicine of mushrooms, tea, like tea leaf. And then like encompassing all that was humans drinking and sitting still with tea and sitting in these like little kind of horseshoe shape ceremonies where we together sat. And so you got this mix of medicine there that was like literally presented to me. So yeah.
Wow. That's quite the journey. So I mean, so it sounds like, obviously, like you say, I guess you were at a kind of time in your life where you were trying to take back some form of control from these turbulent times and kind of get back, you know, your health and mindset, your kind of spiritual being, etc. what was it in particular? Because I'd imagine, like, from, all these things you were doing, there's so many things out there that are good for your health, right? You see all these things popping up left, right, and center, like this food and this exercise and that exercise. Out of all of the myriad of things we're being told about that we can do for our health, what was it about? Because you mentioned something there which was quite interesting, of like the combination of like the stillness, when drinking tea, and there's almost a ceremonial aspect to it. Like, is that what it was for you? Was there something else that kind of pulled you toward tea and mushrooms in particular out of everything?
Yeah, like often we want the answer, don't we? Like, okay, what's the exercise regime that's going to get me fit? Or yeah, what's the thing? And it's all the answers. It's always a combo, isn't it? It's like for me, the tea and the stillness and the meditative side of it and the ceremonial side of it, it was helping balance the kind of excessive yang that I had. Loads of push and like heavy weights and Thai boxing, but not so much stillness. And yeah, it was literally presented to me. It's like, oh, why don't we just sit down and do nothing for 7 hours but drink tea? And like with that, like that, I guess that's, little yin and yang balance, like observing what was out of balance within myself, and then accepting and embracing this. Oh yeah, maybe try the opposite a little bit. And then with the mushrooms, it was like chaga that I was introduced to first, chaga mushroom. And I remember drinking it, thinking, yeah, this is nice. This tastes good. It felt good. But then I noticed that, like, people kind of often have a thing, like where they get, I don't know, colds or headaches or stomach stuff. There's like a thing that a lot of people, a theme to their ailments. Mine was chest infections. And I'd get once a year, I'd get a chest infection. And as soon as I started drinking chaga, I just noticed that no more chest infections. And so I became really curious about that. I was like, okay, that was definitely happening before. And I was doing different things, I was obviously finding more balance, but like then looking at what chaga does, like the antiviral properties, the immune support, the upper respiratory, I just kind of really easily married. My physical health was better. I wasn't getting sick anymore, and specifically wasn't getting chest infections. And I'm drinking this mushroom. Cool. I'm going to follow that path of something good has happened versus laying on the operation bed and going, something bad has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I do think there's something to be said as well, because this is something actually that I really took away from one of your workshops. And I actually ordered like a Chinese kind of one of those like tea bowls, the ones that you like hold, you kind of cup it in your hand. And I'd never, you kind of introduced me to that whole practice of like, I think like a mug, when you drink like a mug, like a coffee or a tea out of a mug, there's just, I don't know, it's easy to just drink it unmindfully, you kind of like, I don't know what it is about it, but when you're like holding, it's almost like this protective, as if you had like a little baby bird in your hand or something.
Totally.
Right?
It's kind of symbolic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like this really delicate thing, and it does just encourage you to be more mindful. And I think that's really interesting, because you're able to combine then, from what you're saying, like all these amazing health benefits that come with the teas and come with the mushrooms, combining that with this meditative, mindful experience, which in itself has benefits, right? Yeah, it's actually really quite fascinating. I'd love for you, Rich, to tell us as well about, like, because you've told some like amazing stories before about these, tea, traveling around the world, trying all these different teas and things. Like, what are some of the most kind of interesting things that you've learned on your journey with Enrichd, and all the kind of different places and things you've dived into around that?
Many things. The first thing that comes to mind is that there's a tea guy, tea master. I don't know if that's the right title, but Wuda.
It's a good title.
And he,
yeah,
right,
tea master.
And he posed this kind of this the tea master.
That's what you want when
He
someone's like,
posed
"Give me
this
a cup
kind
of
of
tea." You're like, "Oh, he is the tea master."
yeah, yeah.
I
You
don't.
want to come round for
Yeah.
tea? I am the tea master. Sit down, everyone shut up. I actually said that in a ceremony in Argentina. This guy was talking so much. He kept asking questions and interrupting, and like I speak Spanish, and I hadn't quite really understood the strength of this phrase, cállate. And cállate is like shut up. And
You embraced it.
I said it kind of, yeah, I said it half joking and probably a little too strong, or he just didn't quite get the humor of it, and he didn't say a word for the next 2 hours.
We never saw him again.
No,
You don't
he's
mess
just
with the
crying
tea
in the
master
corner
like
still. And yeah, and the question or the idea that was posed was, what is tea? Is it the leaf? Yeah. Like, is it the tea bag? Is it the cup, like that you're holding? Do you want a cup of tea? Because this is a bowl of tea, or is it the tree, or is it all the ecology and the life around that makes the tea, or is it the tea farmers and the families that live up there that are completely critical to getting that tea to our cup? And so, like, or is it the time? Is it like, hey, do you want to come round for tea?
that.
And I really like that. Like, it just kind of opens up the mind into, what this category of thing is.
Mm.
And this category of thing is actually many things. And there's much life that existed and exists in order to make this one thing.
Mm.
So like what are the fascinating things from around the world and the experiences I've had? It's the interesting questions and I guess the philosophy and the energy around it that it's brought in. That there's obviously there's tea, there's Shopuer tea and Sheng tea, like the aged Shengs, and there's like such fascinating flavors and tastes and feelings that come from the body and that the tea has, and or that are invoked or moved in the body. There's all that world of it. There's the like we're saying here, like the mindfulness of it and the stillness, the medicine of that, the people, the community. And then in mushroom, someone's got a siren going on there.
Kicking off in Brighton over here.
Is that where you are in Brighton? Yeah.
Yeah, too much coffee over here, I'm afraid. Too much coffee. So it's kicking off
the
over
gang,
here.
the intensity.
Yeah, the intensity of coffee.
Yeah. And then you've got like the mushrooms in that. Like when I think of the word tea, I think of tea leaf, Camellia sinensis. But also you've got like mushroom tea and a drink that is made of, say, mushroom extracts. Reishi, for example. Reishi being known as the mushroom of immortality. And you can follow that path down. So you've got this mushroom that is for immune support. It's got anti-cancer properties. It helps the body, for lack of a better phrase, fight and destroy stuff that's in there that needs to be gotten rid of. And then you've got that it's heart chakra. It's oriented and it's heart chakra oriented, and it opens up the heart and the spirit. So you've got this phrase, mushroom of immortality, and often we'll think in the West like physical living forever. Well, they'll never do that. But when you take it further to like, well, when the soul is open and the heart is open more, then what changes in the existence of that human being that's been drinking reishi, the mushroom of immortality? When I'm more in my heart center, I'm less self-centered and more service-centered and helping and supporting others. And then thinking of that as immortality and like the immortal spirit that gets shined out and to support other people, that lives on.
Offered onto something.
Like, yeah. It's pretty wild.
I love that question. I love that question of like, what is tea? Like, I think it's such a like simple, and I guess you can kind of apply that to anything really. It's such a simple question, but it does make you think about just the interconnectedness of all things. Like you say, like, is it the cup that you serve it in? Is it what it means, kind of inviting friends round for tea? Is it the tree that it comes from, or the ground that, you know, nourishes that tree? The people know there is so much, right? And it just doesn't end. Like, it is just this interconnected thing. It's a really great exercise, actually, and I think it's something I would encourage, because I know it's something you got us to do when we did like the kind of tea meditations in your workshop before, and it's something for anyone listening I would encourage you to just, you know, when you are next having a simple cup of tea, whatever tea it is, doesn't even have to be mushroom tea, like if you're just you know, just ask yourself that question, you know, like where has this tea come from?
Yeah,
in a serious way.
And
like,
from that, like,
who gave me this tea? Where did this tea come from? Is it,
yeah.
who gave this to me? How long have I been here?
How did I get this?
When you're sitting in a cave, tied up.
I love that.
Do you drink? Do you drink? You drink regular tea, English breakfast tea?
You know, no is the answer.
Really? Wow, that's a total like fuck that tea. Because
yeah,
did you ever drink it?
Fuck that.
It's fine.
It just, yeah, it's like fast food and Diet Coke. It just doesn't exist to me anymore.
Really? Wow. Right.
It's like, yeah. Okay.
The caffeine, or is it just like because a lot of English breakfast tea is generally quite shit? Well, a lot of the ones we get anyway.
Yeah, the latter. Yeah, like, you know, I've got on my shelf, I've got red tea, which is what, you know, breakfast tea is. We often think it's black tea, but
you've tasted the good stuff.
Yeah, like organic, clean red tea. I drink that. Do I put milk and 2 sugars in it? No. No.
Yeah. But interesting.
But I'm a big fan, right? Like, I'm a real big fan of placebo and mind effect on it. It's like, if you've got 2 people that sit down and have a non-organic, skimmed non-organic milk, 2 refined sugars in their cup, but they're in absolute love with each other in that moment, like, that's pure medicine for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose, like, you know, the act of like whether you're having a tea ritual and you're sitting around holding tea in a kind of mug, or whether someone's like, shall I put the kettle on? It's its own type of bizarre, intimate ritual, isn't it? You know, and is it, like you're saying, what is tea? Is it the act? Is it the tea bag? Is it the cup? Is it what you're having?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. Let me do this, just a public service announcement. But I really want to do this. I need to get this word out. So, plastic kettles, no, just donate it to the charity shop, or better still, try and find a way to recycle it or get rid of it in some eco way. Done. A glass kettle, yes, but if your glass kettle's got loads of plastic compounds within it, like, figure that out. Like, my kettle is glass with a stainless steel inside, and there's no plastic around the spout where the water pours out. So figure your kettle out. Done.
I've got fully plastic kettle.
Have you, mate? Have you got a
look over at your kitchen?
I've been called out.
You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I was literally looking over and you were saying that, like, oh fuck.
I was like, shame.
I might hang up.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, I do
understand
service. That. What about metal?
Stainless steel's all right. Yeah, like, I'd choose glass over that. But yeah, you key practicalities are, you make sure your kettle's not got plastic inside it. Zero. If the inside of the lid is plastic, boil it with the lid open until you can get one that's not, and then obviously watch it, because it'll boil over otherwise. I really want to blast through these. Like, those plastic tea bags, those kind of like little kind of silky bags, they're plastic. So boiling water goes on, plastic gets leached into your drink, you drink it, affects your organs, your eggs, your balls, all that, like, done. Paper cups with plastic lining, like, again, make your own choice, but it's plastic lining, hot water goes on, you drink it, done. What else? If you can get organic tea, because, like, thinking of that, the ecology, the soil, the life, you want to have, like, the track behind you, the path behind you, as clean and unscathed as possible. which obviously is behind you, but that goes forward in the place it is. There's other life forms and life there. And then for you as well, in your cup, you want organic. And then just to close that, Dr. Rhonda Patrick just did a recent interview. Have you heard of Dr. Rhonda Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
She's awesome. And she mentioned the beta-glucans in oats, or a study on the beta-glucans in oats. And then, although the study wasn't on these, she did mention the beta-glucans in medicinal mushrooms, like reishi, let's go reishi, for example, or a mix, helping the body rid itself of microplastics.
Oh,
Which I found
really?
really
Wild.
interesting.
I thought they didn't know of anything that could do that yet.
Well, I hadn't heard of anything at all until she mentioned that this study on the beta-glucans in oats.
Wow.
But also reishi and different mushrooms are a good source of beta-glucans too. So
amazing.
Public service announcement over. Everyone relax.
What about
nice.
just on that though? What do you think there is also, because one of the things I noticed you didn't mention, or maybe I just missed it, was tap water.
Oh yeah,
The water
Do you think that's
itself.
a problem? Yeah.
yeah, the water itself. Yeah, you got to get yourself a decent filter. Yeah, I've got a few different filters that I play around with. I just invest in this as well now. I just get glass bottles of water for like travel events to drink at home, and then filter. So yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, sort your water source out. And often, like speaking with like my friends around here, they're like, "Oh, but there's just so much to do." Like it's and this is the phrase that I keep finding myself saying is like, it's literally everything. Like, you might have seen that like little Instagram post going where the guy's like, "Oh, I've got my slice of bread, my sourdough bread for breakfast," and there's a doctor saying, "Never eat bread." And the next one is drink water. He's about to drink the water. Never drink water. So, but like just like manage it for your own like sanity of like, okay, this month I'm going to get my water sorted, and or this month I'm going to just choose the organic tea bag or go to enriched.com and have like chunk it down and manage it one thing at a time. Otherwise it does become so much for people.
Yeah.
So what's your first thing, Tom?
My first thing is going to be my kettle. I invested in a good water filter. No, seriously though, I invested in a good water filter recently in it, and it has you can notice it's a huge difference. It's called a zero filter, and it's really interesting because it comes with I think it's, what was it? You might know, Rich. It's like PPI filter or something, and it can actually test. You get a test thing with it, so you can measure the amount of particles in the water.
Yeah.
So it basically strips out everything, which isn't ideal, because ideally you want, like in mineral water, for example, you will have natural minerals and salts and that kind of thing, which are good for the body. So what I do is I strip it all out, and then I just add in some like pink Himalayan salt into the water. And yeah, it makes a huge difference. But yeah, I'm just thinking now, I'm kind of doing that, and then I'm putting it in a fucking plastic kettle. So it's probably a little bit stupid. But interestingly, because I've noticed this as well, I did actually, after I boil the water, I've then tested it again, and it does show that there's now actually plastics in that water, less than if I got it out the tap. But you clearly see that there are obviously plastics being leached from, because it's just the spout of the kettle that is a plastic bit, the inside plastic. It's a really interesting point, and I hadn't really given that much thought, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and then often people speak about the pans, the non-stick, and all that stuff, but you've also got this another elusive obvious is like the utensils, like if the spatula or the spoon is plastic and you stir your boiling water pasta. So yeah, utensils is we're in this little tipping point, I think, of like, oh yeah, of course, I'm gonna do everything. Okay, I'll do that. Oh yes, that as well. Okay, thanks, cool. Now yeah. So
yeah, it's a good point. You're right, and I think I'm glad that you kind of said that as well, because like it is I think that is, you're right. Like, that is what's happening. I think people just shut down because there's so much information and they're like, oh, fuck it. I can't even live if I have to do all of this stuff. And it's like, no, you have to stop doing everything at once, right? You just, like you say, chunk it down and just do things as and when you can, it's not like you need to do everything right now. So, yeah, no, I think that's a really good point, actually. So,
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, so obviously we talked about like the teas and the, how we can kind of make sure that, I guess that applies to everything, right, in terms of the plastics. But what about the mushroom side in particular? Because people call them functional mushrooms, is that right? Like reishi and lion's mane and that?
Yeah. Functional mushrooms. There's a few different terms like adaptogenic, functional, medicinal.
Yeah. Where does this all come from? Like, how does that work? What is going on there?
So you've got many mushrooms that come from traditional Chinese medicine and some of the ancient texts. Chaga not being one of them. Chaga being one that's been known to be used for hundreds of years, and then the other ones like reishi, particularly reishi, for thousands of years. And these, like, often called like herbs, the information on how they've worked in certain areas is passed down. So it's like, okay, this group of people in this area of China were drinking these mushrooms, or this particular doctor of Chinese medicine was using these herbs with these people, and they noticed effect A. So he'll write it down, and I'm speaking very broadly, and I'm not an expert in Chinese medicine, but this is the best I understand it. And that gets passed on and told or communicated, and then someone else finds it. And then as trial and error and as experience is filtered down over thousands of years, you've got these, okay, reishi mushroom used for supporting the immune system, anti-cancer properties, opening the heart, calming the person, helping with sleep and stress. And then Western studies over sort of 10, 20 years of different studies are showing that they have these compounds that are anti-cancerous and that do support, possibly modulate, possibly stimulate the immune system, helping the body work with natural killer cells and T cells to be careful with the words here, that help the body when cancer arises. So like the mushrooms, broadly speaking, support the immune system and may have anti-cancer properties. And there's traditional use for hundreds or thousands of years. And then now a few decades of different studies in Western medicine showing this. And yeah, like the thing that I've personally noticed, and people that have perhaps been drinking my mushrooms or other mushroom people that grow or sell them, is I just don't get sick anymore. And that's really fascinating. Or like through COVID, like something might start, but the body just seems able to deal with it more effectively and more quickly. And I don't like this phrase at all, but the phrase that floats around is the mushrooms upgrading the immune system, communicating with it, upgrading it, strengthening it, making it more able to deal with foreign invaders. And that is my personal experience of it. It's like, other than like when I had COVID, like whatever that is, another conversation, I felt like I'd been beaten with a stick the next day. And I had a chesty cough for a few days that lingered, perhaps for, say, 10 days or so, just a little something. And that was it. No fatigue. Just felt totally fine. Just one day where I felt like I'd been beaten with a stick, and then that was it. But yeah, not the greatest phrase, but quite useful, quite a functional phrase, like an upgrade on the immune system. Yeah. And then, like recently, Rhonda Patrick mentioning about the beta-glucan study on in oats ridding the body of microplastics. And then she also mentioned in medicinal mushrooms. And it's really fascinating that like mushrooms refound us now. Like, because we're going through, like, as a species, that I don't even like using these phrases, but like, the phrase that people are using is like cancer epidemics, and there are viral problems happening, and these mushrooms just happen to be anti-cancerous and antiviral, and also calming and balancing on the system. So there's a really fascinating thing going on. And one last thing on that is that I kind of see the mushrooms as I was introduced to them in 2013, so about 10 or 11 years ago, no more, 11 or 12 years ago. It kind of feels like they're using me. So like we're chatting about these mushrooms and I'm telling many people now, you guys and then whoever listens, yeah, get these mushrooms. Like kind of like the corn and soy fields use farmers and humans to replicate, but this in a beneficial way.
Do you know what's really interesting about that? I think, I mean, it comes back to everything you've said. Like, so we met this, just randomly met this girl in Brighton yesterday, a Mexican, and she did. We're going to get her on the podcast at some point, but she does like sustainable, what is it? Architectural landscaping or something. So basically like helping the grounds of properties or estates to be cultivated in a more sustainable way. And she has a very strong connection with nature. And she said a very similar thing where she said like the trees and like the earth like just spoke to me one day, and they kind of like are now acting through her in her work. And she, you know, she gave this like amazing story of how she managed to get herself into, I can't remember which university it was, but one of the very prestigious universities to study this. And I think there is something to be said for anything that comes from the earth that we consume or commune with somehow in some way can speak to us.
Yeah.
You know, it's fascinating. Really interesting.
Well, totally right. We're part of it. Right? It's part of us and we're part of it. And yeah, it is really interesting. Like the kind of like the initial question you asked about like why these mushrooms and teas, there've been a few moments when they kind of have spoken to me, and there's a really fascinating thread. So the first time was I was drinking, I'd had a couple of days of gastroenteritis, like early 20s, whatever reason, my whole system was completely empty before I'd been drinking the mushrooms. And I went to this tea shop that's gone now. It was called Tea Smith in London. And I've been drinking this Chaud Pu'er tea, this like 2008, an aged Pu'er tea. The reason being because it's sort of spoken of to support the digestive system. It's warming in nature. My system was kind of like empty and kind of frail. And I drank it for a few hours, like different steepings, topped up the leaves, more steepings. And as I stood up and walked out, every step I took, I kind of got these really like euphoric, pleasant sensations, like growing and emanating upwards from my stomach to the point I was walking toward Liverpool Street Station in London. And I was literally in heaven walking down the street with every step of like, what is going on? Like, what's happening inside my stomach? Like almost orgasmic. And then, so I had that experience, which at that point, I was like, lift weights, eat as much as possible, get bigger, get stronger. And then, oh my God, this tea has given me this really bizarre experience. Wild. And shortly after, that's when maybe a few years after, that's when I moved to LA. And I remember tweeting out, where's the good #tea in LA? And from there, nothing came out of like Twitter. I was introduced to this community and did find tea there. Like I found it. So there was that experience in London. Then I did Vipassana. So 10 days silence, no eye contact, just meditation. And after like sort of day 5 or on day 5 in the evening, after like a good 20 minutes of crying, like hard, awesome, beautiful crying, I was sat there in the meditation and I remember thinking, oh, I'm coming back to my awareness. It feels really good. It feels really good. Okay, don't crave it. Don't crave the pleasure. And I'm like kind of in this like moment, this really weird moment, sat in this hall of like 100 people, just like coming up, like ecstatic sensations coming out of my leg. And I was high as a kite for about 2 hours after that. Similar ballpark as the stomach feeling, but from the leg. Similar to when I've taken psilocybin before, when I've had like a couple of like playful experiences in my early 20s, not really knowing what psilocybin was then, but it was, let's go to a theme park and take mushrooms. And it was that world again, this like pleasant, everything is like marvelous and like fascinating. And then again with reishi, when I served myself a really strong dose of reishi one day, and my heart just started to like, almost like, I want to say bubble and open and like just dump pleasure throughout my body. And like those 4, and it's probably more, but those were 4 critical like moments, like 4 critical messages from what? From plants, from my gut bacteria, from silence that spoke to me. Yeah, like there's, I think when we take out the things that numb and suppress, and without judgment, but you know, like alcohol, and when we have more opening and uplifting conversations and experiences and become more sensitive, I think we become more susceptible and open to messages and tea, mushrooms, meditation, huge messages. And this is the interesting thing, like I say, messages, no words were spoken or heard, it was just, there was like a message within that happened.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And on the, like, so you mentioned like some of the you know, the benefits and things of like, you know, reishi in particular. What are the, because there's like different, I think like on your website, and I've seen on like others as well, they recommend like different teas for different like cognitive benefits, for example. Like, what could you walk us through, like what some of those from a top level, like what are some of those, like who are certain mushrooms maybe for, and you know, like how, what do people need to kind of think about when deciding what might be right for them?
Yeah, cool. So the first question I'd ask is like, what might you want to work on? So like you said, cognition, memory, focus, creativity, lion's mane. That's all about the brain health, reconnecting neurons in the brain, cognition, focus. Again, a phrase I'm not a big fan of, but ADHD, that kind of world, mood. And a conversation came up in with the doctor of Chinese medicine quite a few years ago. And this was the question that was posed, and feel free to take this away and do everything you can with it. How are you digesting life? Not how's your digestion? Are you bloated? Do you fart? But how are you digesting life? And when I think of that, obviously I can think of that in isolation from mushrooms. It's a beautiful question to ask. Is like, when I wake up, like, is my environment or the people I go and see, like, because that's all coming in, and the system, the soul, the heart, the body has to digest it. But in mushrooms, my experience is that lion's mane really gave me greater bandwidth to digest life and the happenings of life. So yeah, cognition would be lion's mane. And then you've got like each mushroom having kind of a superpower, whilst all of them broadly supporting the immune system. So yeah, we've mentioned reishi, like calming, immune support, antiviral properties. There are anti-cancer studies. Heart chakra, turkey tail, similar but different, obviously different compounds, immune support, prebiotics for gut health, antiviral studies, anti-cancer studies on some of the polysaccharides. Chaga, again, like immune support, antiviral, upper respiratory, works around the third eye area in terms of chakras. High melanin for skin health, great source of antioxidants.
Rich, you know, quick question on that. You know, so obviously, like some of the benefits you're mentioning, you've got there's what's the word? Kind of more scientifically grounded benefits, along with these more spiritually like your third eye and your heart chakra and things. Does that all come from does that all coming from like these Chinese medicine studies, or are these like studies from different places that these have come from?
So the studies tend to either look at the mushroom and then like compounds within it and study the effects of those. So they're like, okay, we think these compounds in lion's mane work on cognition in the brain. So they'll do perhaps a rat study and then show it to do a certain thing to the rat's brains. Or I think there was one on women using cookies with lion's mane in it for, I think it was menopause symptoms, like for brain fog. So like in the East, in the traditional Chinese medicine, it's obviously, they're like thousands of years ago, they weren't isolating compounds. It was the broad use of the mushroom and then seeing or not seeing certain elements arise in the populations that were using or drinking it. And like within that conversation, like I've been doing some extra testing on my mushrooms and chatting with these awesome scientists in Oregon. They're like, okay, yeah, we've got this and that. And I love this because this is something that I've always thought of with the mushrooms, is like you've got a mushroom, and just because you take a compound out and use that compound, yes, like turkey tail, for example, polysaccharide K or P, they've been used as isolates in anti-cancer studies, but you've got the whole mushroom, you've got other compounds in there. And chatting with these scientists, they're like, you can't forget that, yes, you've got isolates, but yes, you forgot the harmony of the other compounds within it. So when you take something out, what are we leaving behind? And I think that, so take reishi, for example, if you take out the triterpenes and use them, yes, they might be beneficial in a certain area for the, say, anti-cancer properties in a shorter time period. But what have we missed? Perhaps we've missed a lot of the shen, the spirit, the heart element of it. And so again, I'm just thinking out loud now, is like maybe if that person was at disharmony or out of balance and the cancer manifested in them, maybe the isolates have worked on that isolated experience, but let's bring the heart and the spirit and the love of the mushroom back in to help the human go forward and not manifest cancer again.
Yeah, it's a really interesting point, actually, because I guess that's kind of what a lot of these, all-in-one supplements you get try and do, right? They're like isolating all of these different compounds and then chucking it all into one thing. It's like, well, like, can you do that without? Yeah, like it's really actually interesting. I'd never really considered that, but it makes a lot of sense, like.
And I think there is. Sorry, yeah,
you're taking it away from its pure form, and you don't know, like you then don't know, to your point, like what were the other benefits that maybe kind of things that medicine or traditional science can't currently measure,
Exactly. Huge point. Yeah, well said. Yeah, what are they not currently able to measure and show? And that's not to say that taking an isolate is not really useful. Like that can be really useful. Yeah. But I like to go, like, I want a reishi extract, or like chaga, I'll drink the extract. And on my stove, I've got the mushrooms simmering. So I'm getting this hugely broad range of compounds whilst also getting, and when I say extract, it's not an extract of melanin or betulinic acid. It's an extract of the mushroom, so it's a broad extract of that specific mushroom.
How many teas do you have in a day?
Yeah, how many teas?
Yeah,
it depends. Like right now, I'm drinking a mix of reishi spore, so the seeds of reishi, organic Peruvian cacao, tremella mushroom. There's a little bit of chaga in there, pinch of salt. So I'm drinking a mushroom hot chocolate.
Love that.
Earlier I drank. Yeah, it's awesome. It's so good. Earlier I probably drank about the equivalent of, say, a pint of tea over the whole day.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, it's not a crazy amount.
Some people have mugs like that big, don't they, really?
Yeah, I guess it's like three cups of tea, isn't it? About
right. Yeah.
So that's how big your mug is.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's a really fascinating world because it's so broad. It's like it's everything. Like if I was to like again earlier questions is like tea. Why do you drink tea? How did you get into tea? It's like one of the answers is because when I sit with my mates now, I can sit with them and I can serve them tea and we can drink and chat. Like I brought an experience to friends that still, drink a load of beer on an evening and perhaps a bottle of wine, but we get to have a beautiful connection because of tea. Yeah.
Do you think there's I know like to an extent, like obviously, it's like they say anything in moderation, right? But do you think, is there like too much tea?
Too much good tea?
Yeah, again, and I know that like obviously there's always going to be extremes, right? Like,
yeah.
But is it something people need to think about really, or is it not really that?
Yeah, like definitely. Like taking out the extreme examples, like I could drown myself in tea.
Yeah.
How did he die? He drank too much tea. Like caffeine's real. Caffeine is a molecule that can be quite
true. Yeah,
draining for some people. So, and I'll go for like try and do a week a year, sometimes a month without any caffeine at all. It's probably been a couple of years since I did a month of any caffeine. But yeah, just that, for example, if someone's like got a lot of yang and they're very fiery and airy and they're kind of a bit like all over the place, then having a load of like even the best organic aged tea, it might be too much like air and uplifting for them. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's tuning into how one feels and what might be beneficial for them. But yeah, like with mushrooms, like if you have too much reishi, you're probably going to get diarrhea, I think. I've not drank it to that extent. Lion's mane's been studied at pretty high levels to be very, very safe and not triggering anything in the body. But again, it really does depend on the person. But yeah, there can be too much.
And like something I found really interesting, and because you kind of mentioned earlier, like tea. Actually, and this might be a good point to clarify. Did you say earlier that kind of mushroom teas in particular are what have been used for thousands of years, or is that teas and mushrooms separately, or is it actually like drinking mushroom infused tea? Is that the right way around? I'm saying that has been happening for thousands of years.
So if we do some phrases, like when I say the word tea, I personally always think of tea leaf, like green tea, red tea, black tea, yellow tea.
Yeah.
So the word tea for me means that, but a mushroom tea, I would think of a mushroom extract. So a mushroom that has been either hot water extracted, so that means hot water was used to extract compounds to make them bioavailable, and or an alcohol extraction. So alcohol being used in the extraction process to make other compounds bioavailable. So
okay, so you're not mixing that. You're not mixing the mushroom extract with tea leaves. They're like separate.
Yes, got it. Yes, they're separate. No, I'm not mixing them.
Got it.
Yeah. People do, like with a cacao, with a hot chocolate. I think it's a really nice mix. But generally, I'll drink mushrooms just as the extract.
Is there a specific reason you would advise against not mixing them, or is that just so you can kind of enjoy that thing in its pure kind of form?
Yeah, more so that. Like I like to have So this kind of asks a little question of like capsules or drinking the mushroom tea as a powder. And when you taste the tea, when you see the hot water, when you take the time to make it, that's an experience. I know that I'm going to make a reishi mushroom drink, for example, or a chaga drink. I'm starting to think about some of the compounds and the benefits of it, getting a bit of placebo. The taste touches my tongue. It speaks to the brain. There are receptors in the esophagus, the digestive system. So, yeah, drinking it in its own form like that, for me, I love that because I want that full experience for my body and for the benefits. In a bit of cacao, awesome. Yes, the cacao does change some of the flavor profiles, but yeah, that's very different from a capsule that bypasses a lot of that, and the body has to digest the capsule and then get to the mushroom. But yeah, I do personally like, I want the mushroom to happen. But yeah, I mean, you could like serve it in a green tea, but like a green tea is a very pleasant drink to drink. Why not have all of it?
Why do you think it's? I mean, I know, obviously we don't know exactly why, people thousands of years ago were drinking mushroom teas as such, or mushroom extracts, but why drinking versus just eating? Because mushroom, you can just pick up a mushroom and eat it, right? Like, why do you think that became a thing? Have you experimented with that yourself? Like, are there difference in terms of the
I've got an answer.
It has.
Ready? Hang on.
Okay.
So that's some chaga. So you pick this off a birch tree, and it's like in chunks.
Yeah. That's like solid.
Yeah. So if you look, some companies actually sell that ground down, and on the back it says directions: add to smoothies. No. Like at the best, you'll get nothing from it. At the worst, it'll upset your digestive system.
Right.
So yeah, that needs hot water. Like, it needs to be steeped and simmered in hot water to extract the properties to make them available. Yeah, reishi is similar, but not as hard. So it needs to have the cell walls broken down to make the compounds bioavailable.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's where the alcohol comes into it, because in the extraction process, although it's not in my powders afterwards, it's evaporated off. The alcohol is used to access compounds that hot water can't access. So, like, yeah, that's basically the thing that happens. Hot water can access certain compounds, and then alcohol is used to access other compounds in the cell wall.
That's super fascinating. Yeah. And because even because there are some teas though, right, where, I mean, even like psilocybin, you can just like, you can eat certain mushrooms, or you can, people actually make them into teas, right? Like, is there reasons for that? Like, why you do like different extraction methods over the others, or even like other form of mushrooms? Like,
yeah, like when you drink it, not obviously, but when you have some warm liquid, that's going to help deliver it as well. And just drinking something warm can be quite comforting. There's that whole argument around, like, when you put a cold liquid into the body, does that upset the digestive system? Is warm like easier for the body to work with? So, like, as a tea or in a soup, it's just some. From what I know, it's drinking some herbs in a hot tea is a great delivery mechanism to the body. Yeah, and I guess that also answers, like, yeah, you just don't eat these ones.
Yeah. No, I think that's a kind of interesting point, actually. I hadn't really considered that much before, but yeah, you're right. There is something about just drinking like a hot beverage that is comforting. Very comforting, and it is a very kind of unique. It's just not the same as when you just eat something. You kind of put it in your mouth and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Whereas you feel the effects of like a warm tea afterwards, right? You kind of feel it, like your whole body warms up.
I have quite a lot of cold drink. I mean, how are you with coffee? I mean, obviously you say
I love coffee.
You try not to. You love coffee.
Yeah, I really love it, but I'll only drink it maybe like a few times a month, and I just naturally my body wants. Yeah, naturally my body wants days or weeks between coffees.
Oh, that is the power that I know very few people to have. It is one of those things.
That's what mushrooms will do.
When people have coffee, they have coffee. They have it. Well, most people, or they just have decaf. You fan of decaf as well, or is that out the window?
I think I saw a program on how they do decaffeination of drinks. I don't think it's a particularly clean process.
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah.
I was doing some reading on that, and I got really put off decaf.
Yeah.
Well, I went out and bought some like really special like organic stuff because they say like most decafs, they use a lot of chemicals in the
There's a lot of different
decaffeination
processes.
process.
Yeah.
So that did put me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's actually an interesting point. Do you think, Rich, that you have noticed, like, do you think you're not as reliant on coffee / that direct pure caffeine because of mushrooms and the extracts that you get from those, or is it just because you've kind of adapted your body to it?
I think what I've done is over the years, I've just become more in tune with what my body needs and what it doesn't need. And when it's able to work with a coffee. So, like I will go and drink a really nice, clean, well-prepared black coffee. I love it. I really enjoy the taste, the aromas. But yeah, and again, for better or worse, I think I've become very I'll go with better. For better, I've become very sensitive over the years, and then able to make decisions. I don't need to eat that kind of chocolate. I can eat organic chocolate from healthy trees.
Yeah.
I don't need to have a bowl of Frosties like it. Yeah. And a lot of that came from realizing, okay, when I eat this in this moment, afterwards I feel like this. Do I want to feel like this? No.
Yeah.
Okay. I will not eat that. That's just makes sense. Yeah. So,
definitely. Yeah.
I guess the question in the air is like willpower, and it shifts from willpower to those experiences and foods. Just they don't really exist as foods anymore. Like the thought of eating let's go with McDonald's burger, it doesn't occur to me. That doesn't occur to me as a human experience anymore.
Yeah.
Sounds so funny to say it.
Yeah, I actually haven't had anything like that. And I think you do just get used to it, don't you? If something happens for a certain amount of time and you've had something, it's like with, like, I mean, Tom, you were never into coffee for so long. And this has just been your year. Where you finally been like, oh yeah, coffee is actually quite good. But I think that happens when you suddenly start having like a good quality of something. Eventually you're like, it's hard to go back to it because you're like, oh, it actually does taste like shit. Like that McDonald's burger, you're like, I don't go back to it.
Yeah, and to clarify as well, when you say I wasn't into coffee, I was always into caffeine. Back in the day, I would just drink like Red Bulls and instant coffee and things like that. But yeah, Ben's now kind of introduced me to like filter coffee, and yeah, it's one of those things where even it is, I guess, similar to teas. It's just the whole process of brewing and extracting and grinding the beans and the aromas you get from it. Like it's a whole thing in itself. It's just like this amazing experience, and it almost like this whole conversation, I just love it because I think it's just like it just deepens your experience of anything, and I think this is a big takeaway, and I guess people will kind of take whatever they need to hopefully from this conversation. But one of the things that's always been front and center for me, one of the things you've kind of encouraged me to do, Rich, and kind of always left me with, is just how we can really like deepen the experience of anything we do, even something that seems as simple and insignificant as having a cup of tea, by being mindful about the teas that we're buying or the process we're using to make that tea and the cutlery we're using and the bowls or whatever, like it can just enrich and deepen that whole experience, and make something really special. So it's really
if you do this, like look what you just said, it's like if we pay attention to what we're doing and do it well, then things are better.
It's awesome. It sounds so obvious, doesn't it, when you say?
I love it. That's exactly what you said. Is like,
Yeah.
if we choose quality, pay attention to what we're doing and do it well, things are better. Yes.
I guess because it does sound like such a silly thing to say, but then it's like we're all like so, caught up in like, speed and hustle and no, we haven't got time for anything.
So crazy stimulating all the
time.
Yeah. It's very rare. Like we're cooking. Well, I just want to make something, and we don't like. You can take your time, and it's not going to be that long for the food to arrive. Like it won't be that much fucking longer. I mean, I take for maybe too long to cook food. Is my problem, but I fucking enjoy it.
Good man.
Yeah. Love
cool.
it.
So, Rich, if people want to come check out Enrichd, it's enrichd.com now, right? And just to clarify as well, it's Enrichd, ENRICHD. We'll obviously put a link in the show notes as well.
Cool.
But enrichd.com, right?
Enrichd.com, yeah. And actually, my Instagram is still Enrichd Superfoods, because there's a guy called David Enrichd that never uses his Instagram, and I've messaged him a few times over the years. Damn him,
David! If you're listening, respond to Rich.
Please tell me your Instagram tag. Thanks so much, guys. It's really nice to chat with you.
Man. Pleasure.
Look forward to meeting you, Ben, and Tom. It'd be great to see you again soon.